Hi all my YouTube viewers, it is Palestine here. Welcome to my channel. I'm making this video because I want to give you an update on my mother's health. I knew that she had an operation on her neck. I knew that she had broken her neck, but I didn't know the full extent of the break. And I think I said in my last video that based upon what I know about people breaking their bones, that they may have put a pin in the bone. Well, that's not what they did. I don't know if my sister watched the video or what, but yesterday she sent me a message saying that what they had done was they had fused C1 to C2 together because C1 had been crushed, and C1 is the very top vertebrae, so that's very dangerous. She could have been a quadriplegic if they didn't stabilize her neck and give her an operation right away. So I think that's why she's going to have a very long recovery time. I was speaking to this one man who his mother is 85 and she broke her hip, and she's also had breast cancer like me, so she also had to take aromatase inhibitors. So she also has osteopenia or osteoporosis, and it took 5 months for the hip to heal. So I think that's probably going to take a very long time for my mother's vertebrae to heal. I don't know exactly what is entailed when you fuse a bone together, but that's what they did. They fused vertebrae C1 to vertebrae C2, and that C1 is the very top vertebrae. So what happened to my mother was very serious. Now, I don't know why my sister sent me that message. I don't know if she saw the video that I made and decided that she was going to clarify what happened, but she also said that her husband had asked her what they did in the operation, so she had to go back and ask them what was done because her husband was asking her. But I don't have any way to contact those people, even though they're my family. They don't want contact with me, and because they don't want contact with me, the only contact that I have is with my sister, and she's selective about what information she gives me. I still haven't phoned my mother because they said that she's just sleeping and she's confused, and if she's sleeping and she's confused, she's not going to know who I am if I phone her, and that might distress her. So I don't want her to be distressed any more than she already has been. And then in addition to that, apparently the doctors aren't too worried about her sleeping all the time. They're just going to let her sleep some more, and then if she keeps on sleeping, then they will investigate it. And then if she keeps being confused, they'll investigate it. But they say that it's normal once you've been sedated to be taken out and had a ventilator, and taken out of sedation and a ventilator to be confused. I remember right after COVID when I had Quincy, and they drained an abscess and took one of my tonsils. I remember about a week or maybe even 2 weeks after the operation, I was really tired and all I wanted to do was sleep. And I think that the reason why that is because when you're under anesthetic, they give you really put out. And I guess it takes a while for the anesthetic to clear the system. So I'm thinking that might be why she's sleeping. But apparently they're going to let her keep on sleeping and investigate it if she just can't seem to perk up, get out of this sleeping mode, because obviously she's just had a very serious operation, and so I guess they're just going to let her sleep for a little while longer. And if she keeps sleeping, they'll investigate why she keeps sleeping. If she keeps being confused, they'll investigate why she keeps being confused. And if she keeps not knowing who people are, they'll investigate why she doesn't know who people are. So I haven't phoned her. It's not that I don't want to. I would like to phone her. I'm paying £6.50 a month to be able to speak to the States 100 minutes a month. But I'm just afraid that if she's sleeping and confused and doesn't know who people are, she might be distressed if I phone her up. So I just want to wait until my sister says it's okay for me to phone her. And then, so that's the status of what happened yesterday. And then also, in addition to that, I helped my dyslexic friend do his CV, and that's a resume if you're living in America. And basically, somebody did his CV around COVID time, and it was somebody who said they could write CVs. But I think that they wrote the CVs in the old-fashioned way. And my CV, I redid my CV when I was harassed out of my job at Foster Wheeler, and basically that CV is done different from my dyslexic friend's CV. But what I did was I modified his CV. I took out his address. So his address is not in the CV. It just says the town he lives in. And you've got his phone number and he's got his email address. So nobody knows his address because that's what my CV says. And then I changed the wording around in the CV a bit. So basically, whoever made the CV was really wordy, but that's not really the way CVs are done now. It's not the way my CV is done. If anything happens with my job status, I might put my CV, I might show my CV on another YouTube channel. So if anything happens with my job status, I intend to make a new YouTube channel for me looking for another job working remotely because my health is not good enough for me to travel. So I'd have to try to get a job working remotely or really close to home or hybrid in the town I live in. And so I updated his CV. This particular CV didn't say what his duties were in each job. And so I added his duties to each job. And then he wanted it included that he used to work in the university where we live. And I included that. And I made some modifications to his CV. I didn't completely write it, but I modified it based upon the CV that had been written because this person that knew how to write CVs. But I think she did it the old-fashioned way. I don't think people make CVs like that anymore. They want to say what you did. And so that's what I did. I included what he did in the CV. And so basically she had lots of spaces in there, and I took out the spaces to make sure that the CV fit on 2 pages. And then I said, took out his hobbies because you don't put hobbies on a CV anymore. And so I did his CV, and I guess he's happy. It's an improvement because it's showing the work that he's doing currently. So it's an improvement. And that's what I did last night. I helped him with his CV. And we also did a Google Meet with the Depression Expression support group. And I was in the kitchen speaking on my Chromebook. And because my laptop I normally use, I can't get my picture up because the lens is slid. But there's no point me getting it repaired because the computer's so old. I'll just wait until I get a new computer and hopefully the lens won't slide. And then my dyslexic friend was in my bedroom talking on his phone with the Google Meet, and then my boyfriend was in the bedroom as well, and I was just in the kitchen. And so the Google Meet was an hour, and it's nice to talk to people because I'm very isolated. I'm isolated at work because I can't talk to people. I can't repeat anything that's said. And so it's nice to be able to talk to other people outside of work. And then, so that's what I did yesterday. I found out more information about my mother. I don't know when I'm going to be able to phone her. And then I redid the CV for my dyslexic friend, and also did a little bit of work on my boyfriend's CV. And my boyfriend's CV is written more in the style of my CV. And my CV, I did that when I was harassed out of my job at Foster Wheeler, and I did it the way I was told that it needed to be done, more in the correct style that's done now. But my dyslexic friend, his CV is a little bit old-fashioned, but I did modify to say what his duties were, what his additional duties were. I took out a lot of white space. And we'll see if he can get a new job with the new CV. You never know. And we'll see if my boyfriend can get a job with the modifications that I've made to his CV. So I better conclude my video. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. And it means a lot to me that you're interested in my life, as pathetic as it may be.